She struck me across the face at my own wedding, in front of every guest, every camera, and right there at the altar. "How dare you sit in my chair without my permission, you dirty boy?" she hissed. My wife didn't utter a single word. That was the first fracture. I simply smiled, got up, and moved to another seat. Not because I lacked strength, but because I knew how to wait. I first met Ella at a charity gala. She was grace wrapped in careful calculation. Her laughter had the power to melt ice, yet it was always perfectly controlled. Her mother, Margaret Linford, was a billionaire, a social powerhouse, and a nightmare dressed in designer heels. Ella used to tell me I kept her grounded, that I made her feel like a real person. I believed every word. Together we built a home. We had 2 children. I worked in tech as a senior systems analyst. Quietly and efficiently, I provided for my family. I never tried to compete with the Linford fortune. My only goal was to love their daughter and help raise their grandchildren. Then the layoffs arrived. I walked through the front door carrying a cardboard box in my arms and a knot in my throat. That very evening, Ella's mother happened to be having dinner with us. When I shared the news, she didn't react at all. She simply dabbed her lips with a napkin. By the next morning, she'd already filled Ella's mind with poison. "He's nothing but dead weight. Think about your children's future. You deserve someone better." Just 1 week later, Ella filed for divorce. She didn't even shed a tear. She calmly looked at me and said, "My mother's right. This isn't working anymore." They expected me to fall apart. They assumed I'd come crawling back, begging for another chance. Instead, I focused on raising my children on my own. While they were vacationing in Paris, I was teaching my daughter how to ride her bicycle. While they laughed about me inside silk-covered rooms that echoed with privilege, I spent my nights building a software prototype. It was a side project I'd been quietly developing for years. An AI infrastructure capable of predicting catastrophic server failures in real time. No one knew it existed, not even Ella. 16 months later, I demonstrated it before a private technology panel. The presentation spread across the internet almost overnight. It took just one deal. Amazon purchased the patent for $89 million. The company I'd started in my garage reached a valuation of $300 million before the year ended. I turned down every interview, every podcast, every media appearance. I wasn't interested in becoming famous. I was waiting for one specific moment. Eventually, it arrived. Margaret Linford served as chairwoman of the Global Women's Equity Forum. Their annual summit was a massive televised event. She was scheduled as the keynote speaker. The event itself was sponsored by my company. She had absolutely no idea, not yet. She confidently stepped onto the stage wearing a crimson suit with pearls around her neck. The cameras flashed. The audience applauded. Then suddenly, the enormous LED wall behind her changed. My face appeared across 30 feet of steel and glass. A voice echoed through the auditorium. "Please welcome tonight's surprise keynote speaker, Nathaniel Reed, founder, innovator, single father, survivor." The room filled with gasps and whispers. One man slowly rose from his seat. Me. As I made my way toward the stage, Margaret froze completely. The hand resting on podium began to tremble ever so slightly. I walked right past her without even looking in her direction. I stood at center stage, adjusted the microphone, and looked across the audience. I was once called dirty by someone sitting in this very room. I paused. But dirt is where things grow. The entire room fell silent. I lost my career. I lost my marriage, but I never lost myself. Behind me, Margaret looked completely petrified. I built something out of absolutely nothing. With 2 children under the age of 10, and without a nanny anywhere in sight. The audience laughed. Then came the applause. And I'd like to thank the woman who pushed me out of her family. Because without realizing it, she pushed me toward greatness. Then, I turned around, looked directly into Margaret's eyes. And the chair I sat in on my wedding day. It belongs to me now. After the event, the media erupted. Chair of Revenge remained a trending headline for 3 straight days. Margaret tried everything to contact me. Voicemails, text messages. She even had flowers delivered to my office. Ella reached out too. "I never knew you were building something like this." I never answered, not because I was holding on to anger, but because I had already moved on. That night, my daughter looked up at me and asked, "Dad, are you a superhero?" I smiled as I tucked her into bed. "No, then how did you defeat the bad guys?" she asked so innocently. I smiled once more before turning off the light, by letting them believe they had already won. The slap belonged to her, but the legacy, that belongs to me.